Welcome to Carmance. Today we are interviewing Willy and Joan Hugron in California. Today is season 2, episode 2 of Carmance. It's a series that shows the romance between car owners and their collector cars. So tell us about yourselves.
Well, I'm Willy Hugron. I'm married to my wife, Joan. We've been members of the Rolls Royce Club for over 15 years. We became members of the club when we bought the Rolls. We have been active members. We've both been on the board, and Joan is still on the board and hospitality chairwoman. I was past chairman and vice chair before. I've served on the board twice, and we've had a really nice experience being club members and getting to know members and become really good friends with several of our members. It's something I encourage people to join the Rolls Royce Club. But the car has brought a lot of fun and joy. The events that we go with the car and the club have been to places we've never been to before. It's been a lot of fun. We've been to a few national meets. We have not taken our car to a national meet because we don't want to drive it too far. Our car is a 1958 Silver Cloud 1. It's been always an original California car. It was bought in November of '58 in Pasadena at Santora Motors. And it's always been a California car. It's never left the state, so there's no rust on it, and it's really been a nice car. When we bought the car, we were referred to the car by a friend who's also a club member, and the car was never marketed or advertised. You paid a little bit more than we wanted to, but we were told that we won't have any mechanical problems. It's not a concourse car, but it's a very presentable car. After we bought it, we redid the interior. The only thing that's not original on the car, the car did come with factory windows and factory air conditioning, but the air conditioning was the original air conditioning with the Freon that's no longer legal, and also it was leaking. After spending a lot of money trying to fix it, we ended up replacing it to a modern day air conditioning system. It's the only thing that's not factory original, so we have wonderful air, and it's been a pleasure to...
It looks like a beautiful car, and it's very comfortable, I'm sure. So Joan, tell us about some of your hobbies.
Oh, mostly swimming in the summer. That's and cooking for Willy. That's become my big focus of that. But yeah, we've been married 13 years, and I never thought I'd be a car person.
Right.
But he started taking me to different car shows, and then he said, I want a Rolls Royce. And I thought, yeah, well, I want a mansion in the sky too.
Right.
So he found this car before we got married, and then we decided that we wanted to redo the inside before the wedding and with pictures and so forth. And then after that, it just started, redoing to factory specs, and so we redid the inside.
Sounds great. So you approved, and you have a lot of fun with the car.
Oh, we have a great lot of fun, and she's such a sweet thing that I call her Lady Di, because I think she's elegant and she's such a lady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a regular princess.
She is the princess of the house. Yes, she is. Okay. Unfortunately, last year we couldn't get out and do things with the club, so she hasn't gotten the attention she needed. But we're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, well, this year we'll start up, have many more events.
Yeah.
This is my pride and joy, my fun car that I don't drive enough, unfortunately. I get nervous about driving it.
Yeah, but you have to use it to make sure all the joints get lubricated.
Absolutely. The car needs to be driven. The cars don't do well if they're not driven. It is in a garage. It's a garage queen. It is the original paint job. It's had some panels repainted, and the color is pretty close, but not perfect. I would like to eventually do a proper paint job where you take every part off, doors, glass, rubber, and redo it.
And strip it down to bare metal?
Strip it down to bare metal. White. We like a pure white car. It's been in many weddings of family and friends, but we do not rent it out, and we don't want to rent it out.
Right. That's always fun.
But it was in our own wedding. It's been both of my son and daughter's wedding. That's the Flying Lady.
Right, the Spirit of Ecstasy, Charles Sykes, sculptor.
And it's the original piece. It's not a recreated one. And occasionally we've used a company called Car and Driver, where the driver comes to your house, drives you in your car to like dinner or something, and people said, oh, the reason you do that is so you can drink and drive. Well, that's not the reason we do it.
Right.
The reason we do it is when we're in a restaurant or an event, someone's babysitting the car, so no one will steal this particular piece or anything else.
Exactly.
So we need a babysitter for the car.
Exactly.
It's our baby.
It's a good deal. Okay, so tell us about the interior.
After we bought the car, we had the interior completely replaced with Conley leather. The panels, the doors, everything has been redone. The carpet's been replaced, the headliner's been replaced, and it was all done to factory specifications to keep it as original as possible. We had the dash taken apart. The reason is the clock didn't work, and we had the bezels redone, and we also had a problem with the odometer. There was a gear that was stripped, the gear was replaced, so we took advantage of taking the dash apart, taking the components and fixing everything. As I mentioned earlier, this is not a concourse car, but every year I try to bring it up to specifications, try to bring it up to close to concourse. I don't think this will ever be a real concourse car unless I do a real thorough, complete paint job.
And especially the leather smells brand new, and it smells like Conley hides, and the carpet Wilton Will. It's beautiful.
The interior was done about 14 years ago.
Still like new. So when you redid the interior, I heard that the craftsman did a special effect in the glove compartment.
What he did, he created a hidden department where he put two pieces of wood so you can put your wallet or your keys or money here, and no one would ever know it's there. The indentation to lift it up is hidden. You can't see it, and if you don't know it, you would never know it's there.
Wow, that's a great...
The other embarrassing thing is I didn't realize that the owner's manual is in the top of the compartment. I didn't think I had it, so I went and bought another one, unfortunately, when I had the original in the car.
There it is, yeah.
So I have an extra owner's manual that I'll probably sell on eBay to someone that probably needs it.
Yeah.
Every Rolls Royce owner should have a jar of Grey Poupon in their car, just in case you're asked. And believe it or not, it's come up more than once that people ask if we had a bottle of Grey Poupon.
Exactly, yeah.
So we do, and we show it.
Yeah, it's a famous commercial, and they've made many variations of the commercial, even comedies making fun, but it's a wonderful thing.
The original Rolls used was a Silver Cloud in white, so it just lends itself well to go along with the fun of it.
It's perfect. Okay, let's take a look at what's inside the trunk.
We have the original toolkit and all the other tools in the car.
So here we have this spanner and different wrenches and bulbs and spark plug tool.
We also have a reproduction leather strap, which is really a strap for luggage. Also, I have complete owner manuals complete repair manuals to work on the car.
Right.
Not that I work on my car. And
but
also,
just in case.
Also, whenever you're in a concourse, it's important that your valve stem is shown, which is right here. It's a secret
compartment here to be able to tell the tire pressure while the spare tire is in its location.
So as I said, this is not a concourse car, but when I enter a concourse, having a leather strap that a lot of cars don't have, having the valve stem where it's supposed to be, having the clock working, these are places where I don't get dinged on points that other cars can, that might be even nicer than mine. Just little tricks of the trade I've learned being in a concourse. I also have taken a few judging classes to judge these in a concourse, and these are just things you pick up. And that's all part of because being in the club and getting actively involved.
And this is
made when you have luggage that doesn't fit in your trunk, so to secure your luggage and your trunk.
And there's a special latch that Rolls Royce put to latch your leather strap so that it won't fly open when you're driving down the highway.
Rolls Royce owners should have a chauffeur's cap just in case they want to have fun and chauffeur their friends around.
Exactly.
We've had a lot of fun picking up friends at the airport in the Rolls with the chauffeur cap. It's just been a lot of fun. It makes our friends and family feel very special and important when they get picked them up at the airport.
Exactly.
Open up the hood compartment, and there's latches on each side for each side of the hood. The engine's all original except for the air conditioning. And it's another area that a lot of people get dinged in concourse where their engine compartments are not pristine. Mine is clean but not pristine. And this is a working project. Every year I budget certain dollars to do more restoration to the car.
Yes, and it looks quite nice. Okay, so here we have the other side of the engine.
And this is the new air conditioning system that's not original.
But it works.
Yeah, unfortunately it's the only part that's not factory spec or original.
It's functional.
The chassis number is LSJF22.
Right, no 17 digits like today. So tell us about the Bijur lubricating system.
There's a pedal inside that you push down occasionally to lubricate the system. These are the brake reservoirs for the brake fluid. I've refinished these once before with a CAD finish, and unfortunately the brake fluid has already disintegrated. It needs to be reconditioned again.
So the engine started right up and it's nice and quiet.
One nice thing about this car, when the engine's on, the engine really purrs. When you're inside, you can hardly hear it. On the outside, you can hardly hear it. It just purrs.
You know, let's close the hood and hear how it sounds.
Other things I wanted to mention about the car, when we were looking for a Silver Cloud, we wanted a Silver Cloud 1,
right?
Because it's a 6-cylinder motor, and they made those for like 15 years before this car was made, and they're very reliable and no problems. The other thing that's kind of interesting about it, it's even though it's only a 6-cylinder and the Cloud 2 and 3 are 8 cylinders, it's still they're large cylinders, so it's pretty powerful. It has plenty of power, no problem going on the freeway, 70, 80 miles an hour.
Now in those days, if people asked Rolls-Royce how much horsepower it has, they would just say sufficient.
Correct.
They never gave a number.
Another unique feature of this car has a huge steering wheel. And even though I've had this car for over 15 years, every time I back up, I still hit the horn. And it's a common issue with most Silver Cloud 1s. They don't have this same issue with the 2s and 3s. But just when I backed out just now, I hit the horn. It happens every time. And I
did
know
notice that, yes. All right, well, let's take a ride and see how smooth it feels.
A couple other unique things. Even though this is a Rolls Royce, it has a General Motors transmission. And Rolls has no park. The very top is neutral, then it's 3, 2, 1, and then the very bottom is reverse. So when you park this car, you put it in neutral or in reverse, and always put the handbrake on.
Well, the actual, when you put it in reverse, there's a prawl in the transmission that locks it so that it's the equivalent of park. But neutral and brakes would be fine.
Yeah. So we're going to take a little drive.
Yeah, let's.
The turn indicator is kind of unique. It's on the dash, and it's spring loaded. It'll pop back with a spring. It's not part of the steering wheel.
So it's a self-canceling regardless of where you're turning.
Correct.
So have you been to a lot of car shows? Did it win awards?
Been to a lot of car shows. I've placed in the Cloud 1 category on numerous occasions. And like I said, it's been a work in progress where I'm constantly trying to upgrade it and make it more of a concourse contender. Until I do a complete thorough paint job, it'll never really be a true concourse car.
But still, it's more fun being a driver and using it and having fun with it and letting all the friends and relatives enjoy it.
It is a garage queen, but not a trailer queen.
Right. That's right. You could drive it to the shows.
It's a driver.
What's
Or
the furthest you've gone to a show with it?
San Diego, La Jolla.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a nice drive.
We've been into the La Jolla concourse a couple times.
Okay.
The Southern California Rolls Royce Club typically has an annual concourse. It's been to many of those. Our next concourse will be on August 1st in Huntington Beach at Central Park. And we've already entered this car to be
okay. And we have one in San Marino coming up too.
San Marino's, I think, August 22nd. I've been in that concourse before. I did not enter this year. I may. The problem with San Marino is very hot, especially in August.
Oh.
The Huntington Beach concourse is right next to the ocean, so it's always cool on grass in a beautiful park. So as you can tell, it's not a noisy car from the inside.
No, it's quite
just purrs.
Nice and quiet. Very smooth car, comfortable. The seats are nice foam, cushiony, and it's very comfortable. So you have a lovely garden.
So the interesting thing, I'm a commercial real estate broker by trade, and I intended initially to buy an industrial warehouse to store my cars, but I found it was more economically feasible to buy a rental property and build a garage on it if you have the room, which is exactly what I did here. I live next door and built an additional garage with a lift in it. It's just convenient to walk next door, get in your car, and go.
Yes, it's
a
much
separate
better
garage.
that way.
The tenant still has theirs. The house is rented out, so it's a rental property.
But this way you could work on your cars, you could play with them, clean them, and they're right by the house. So here we are inside the garage. And we have a mini moke on top. Hopefully it doesn't leak any oil.
There's pans underneath it.
Oh, there are, okay. And then tell us about this Woody wagon.
This is a 1931 hot rod Chevy Woody. with the 350 Chevy engine in it. And it's also won a lot of car shows. Now this is what they call a phantom Woody, because in 31 Chevy did not make Woodies, but the car is an original 31 Chevy.
Okay.
Completely redone.
Very nice.